was from the movie Parenthood. Now, what, just a cow? Why did I play that instead of saying holy cow first and then playing that? Because we have what they are calling explosive diarrhea. What a horrible name for diarrhea. It is really, they couldn't come up with something better than that. How about the running shits? That would be a more appropriate name for it than the explosive diarrhea. The running shits. Now, just a cow. Have you ever ate at Taco Bell? You have? Okay, so have I. Unfortunately. What do you think of their food? Yeah, mediocre at best. I've never really cared much for the fake Mexican food of Taco Bell. Let's be honest, Taco Bell and Taco John's are what they aspire to be. They aspire to be authentic Mexican food. It's not. If you want real Mexican food, you go to Tequila Grill, the best Mexican restaurant here in Atoma, maybe the best one in southeast Iowa. So if you really want real Mexican food, go there. Don't go to the Taco John or Taco Bell and, get the running shits. So, I've been there, not recently, maybe a couple years, and the food was mediocre at best. And almost every time that I went into Taco Bell, I couldn't get out of the parking lot without having the running shits. There was actually one time I almost shit my pants because of their food. Their food is, like I said, mediocre at best. And I don't know why this is a big deal. Because, I worked at a fast food place in my past, and I know some of the criteria and some of the rules that you're supposed to be following, and I think this is more of Taco Bell's corporation's fault for not doing food protocols exactly right. Heck, I even went to college, and I was going to try to go into culinary arts, and there was certain protocols and rules of food you had to do to make sure that you didn't pass along, bacteria and viruses of different sorts. I'm almost wondering if this has been a long time coming for the running shits, because I think this is also a problem across the board, is they don't know how to handle their food. There's a lot of people not wearing gloves when they're handling food. There's a lot of people not washing their hands. There's a lot of people in the back picking their nose. There's a lot of people, scratching their asshole. There's a lot of people, and there's another, I don't mean to sound gross, but there is another thing. There is something else that doesn't get quite enough traction, doesn't get discussed enough. It's cigarette smoking. When I was smoking, back then I did. I haven't smoked for almost 5 years. But when I was smoking and I went to college for culinary arts, the teacher said, I don't got no problem with people going out and smoking. It is what it is. But because you put your cigarette in your hand and you lit it, and of course you're putting it up to your mouth, and of course, you got bacteria on your mouth, and you keep putting the cigarette up there. And she said, if you do go out for a smoke, come back in, wash your hands thoroughly before handling any type of food whatsoever, no matter what the food is. I think that's another issue, is they're not washing their hands after they come out for a smoke, after they come back in for a smoke. So yeah, I think that's another issue that they have that they probably should address. They say this is contagious. They say it's contagious. I'm not sold on that one. I'm not sold on that one. So if people are having explosive diarrhea, are they using the restroom at Taco Bell and sort of spreading it along after they have the running shits? That's a possibility in and of itself. I think that this can be rectified really quickly. It really can be. It's just that the Taco Bell industry has to get a handle on this, but they're not getting a handle on it because now there's lettuce. It sounds to me like, here's what it sounds to me like, is they left out the food overnight when you're supposed to put it in the refrigerator. And most of these big places like McDonald's, Taco John's, Domino's, Pizza Hut, whatever it may be, they have walk-in refrigerators at these places. And I always thought you were supposed to have fresh from the very first morning until the evening. You're supposed to take out fresh food. That's what I always assumed that they were supposed to be doing. But in the last few years, we've seen more and more and more food poisoning in these places, or the running shits, because they're not following protocols on how to handle the food properly. And that is a problem. That is a severe problem. I've had some food poisonings over my time. My last food poisoning was probably, 3 or 4 years ago. I ate at a pizza place here in town called Happy Joe's. I got food poisoning from their taco pizza, which does have lettuce on it, by the way. So it probably wasn't being handled properly. I didn't get the running shits, but I had diarrhea pretty excessively bad, and I had the hiccups for several days, and I was vomiting, and it was rather bad. And I've never ate there since. I've completely stayed away from Happy Joe's. I will probably never eat there again because of that. So I had food poisoning, and I think that they're misinterpreting between not food poisoning and food poisoning. This is simply food poisoning, nothing more and nothing else. It really is. Not handling food properly, not cooking food properly, whatever it may be, and not washing your hands. There is so many ways to get food poisoning, and yes, they're calling this explosive diarrhea, but let's be honest. Let's be completely honest with ourselves. It's diarrhea. Now listen, food poisoning. But now listen, I think me and my wife, we don't go out to eat much. We don't eat much at fast food places. It's something we've always done. I think it's safer, we think it's safer, to cook at home because at least you know what you are eating. There is no question about it. You know what you're eating. You know how to handle the food properly. And no, leave that alone, pretty girl. So yeah, I think we think it's safer to cook at home because the chances of you getting food poisoning at home is considerably lower than when you go out to eat at a restaurant like Taco Bell. I'm not a fan of Taco Bell, as I have said, and what? Yeah, good point. If you want the running shits, just go to Taco Bell and have fun with it. Have fun with it. I haven't ate there for a long time. A long time. You know what? I just wonder how this started. It always starts somewhere. Me and Mom are saying that's all for now. That's all for now.